Good morning, good morning. I mean, I don't know how much trading we're going to be doing today, boys. We'll see. I mean, this looks like an easy pivot here. Let's watch to see what happens as we push into value high edge on NQ. Into our 217, 232. This is just a POC of previous 15, as well as our view up for ES. Our major seller sits at 70. Alright, let's see what NQ does as we push into this high. $156. into our value high here on NQ. ES testing our 30-second opening range high. Just pushing up into our 15-minute VWAP, as well as our seller that sits up here into 225 on NQ. Again, ES has a bit more room to go. Seeing a little bit of absorption now. Our first little attempt here on ES. So we push into these highs. Okay, looking back in. See if it holds this edge, or if we are able to trap and absorb here now that we've tested into that previous 15. We're watching to see if from this we get back in and then rotate down, or if this is going to be able to hold and flip for rotations up. Watching our reoffer here. See if we can put in a lower high, trap these guys above, or if this is going to fail. The problem is this ES and RTY are still, they're just literally sideways with this. We have no market movement. Yes, and RTY is still no downside. Bad holding on NQ so far. Without market participation, like there's nothing here. Probably have to wait for ES to come up to 170, I guess. I don't know. We need a trap and lower high on NQ if we're going to do anything. If not, we'll rotate up. If there's no desire to push lower, then we check the ego at the door and we play with trend. Yeah, I mean, there's no. If our DY and ES are pushing, like, what do we. There's nothing to do. We have to wait for ES to get to its pivot, which is at 170. And then we might be at a real reaction there, but the market does not care. There was an attempt to trap, but it didn't work on NQ. They tried to trap into 30s, and then sellers tried to step in below 15s, and then they failed. Now they're absorbing again here at 250. But yes, and RTY are still pushing. Pushing into our ES offer now. This is NQ into target from the flip of our value at 30s into 70s. We now have full markets coming up into pivots. We're watching our 170 to 175 area on NQ as we push up into this to see if sell side sits here. Russell starting to show a little weakness, just at double top, but nothing crazy as of yet. Still holding higher lows. Watching as we push into previous day POC to value high to see if we're going to be able to hold this now that gap's been filled. This is the next area where we'll watch to see if sellers want to do something new. Now that NQ, ES, and RTY are now all at pivots together. News in 10 seconds. New 15s. NQ continues to push. ES now into our pivot, holding our value of our previous candle on NQ. And ES still holding trend, no change. Previous 15s are still holding as supportive, no shift in our overall trend. Nothing to do yet. I'm not in anything. I'm not doing anything. There's nothing to do. There's no trade. There's no setup. Price is just slowly inching its way up. What are we trading? What's the catalyst? The only way I take a trade is if I see initiation with speed and then I play a secondary. Until then, like, it's just slow trend up. So if you want to play trend up, right? Like, nothing has invalidated that. We have put in a right side of V. We are holding previous 15s. We are continuing to push, right? We have trend. So trying to counter trend trade anything until we have someone who's trapped is stupid. We can look for areas of interest, but we still need. We still. That's gonna be impossible to talk today, man. We need to see someone get trapped for a catalyst, and then we need to see secondary moves step in for us to actually have something viable, or we're just gonna slowly climb. It's gonna literally be impossible to talk today. Do you see how we're just holding POCs of previous candles and pushing up? So, like, you have trend. So until we see someone trap, initiate a position with a sweep, then we can play secondary where we trap and hold below. If not, then we just play trend continuation with this higher low, higher low, higher low on the previous 15s. That's all you can do. Gaps have been filled. The ES EdQ still has quite a bit to go. Value low of yesterday was 35s. So yeah, no, I just wait until there's an actual setup. See if we can absorb into these highs like we thought on ES and then put in that lower high, or if we're just going to continue doing what we're doing. This is our 170, 175 previous day POC here. You can see where we're trading. It's this big node up here from yesterday. We have now traded from our lows of yesterday and where we held, and have pushed up and are now trading into this POC to value high. We're watching to see if we can absorb here, trap on a lower high, and then rotate down, with this being first target and then this being second target, right? If this fails and we hold instead, then we'll just continue to play our previous 15 minutes up, and then that's that. And then we'll just go to the next target off of this hold. The only way we get a trade is if we have a catalyst. We have an area of interest, but we still need a catalyst, which is someone offsides, and then a secondary move. It's the only way we take trades. I mean, how am I supposed to answer that? Are you kidding? Boys, I don't have a magic 8 ball. How am I supposed to know what happens? Like, what do you mean? I don't know. Flip a coin. I find areas of interest, and then we look for trading opportunities in those areas of interest. If they don't show, they don't show. We're in an incredibly slow market, and it is trending up. So if you want to play trend, then you play trend. If not, you wait for the setup. Like, there's nothing else to do other than that. We find an area we care about. We look to see if the setup will play. If not, then it'll continue to slow grind up. If you want to be a participant in the slow grind up, be my guest. I'm not. So I'm not going to tell you what you should do, because I don't. We're holding previous day POC as supportive right now instead of holding it as offer, which means that we are going to be watching to see if we put in, again, our lower high here from our tag, right? This is what we're watching for, a push below or a hold, and then value high becoming supportive, right? From our hold of our POC from yesterday, right? Like this is a very simple idea where we've now filled gap on ES. Are we going to hold POC to value high as resistance and then push back down to then rotate back down to previous day value low, right? That's what we have drawn. Or are we going to be able to hold yesterday's POC, get over value high, and then start to expand, right? Are we going to be in a balanced day where POC to value high holds as resistance and then we rotate back down, trading yesterday's range? Or are we going to expand on the day? That is what we are talking about. We can see on footprint the liquidity that's down here, where we are trying to push down into for a bid. If we can flip and we have a shift in our POCs at our highs, then we have a catalyst, right? If we don't, then there's no catalyst and it slow grinds up and then we'll look for expansion. Like just because we're at a zone doesn't mean it's a trade. We still need a setup. Hey, Allie. Morning. I got you riled up. Buddy, I just posted a link. Let's see if we can hold 170 now with like our stop over 172.50. We need speed here, or it's gonna be all for naught. It's just so fucking slow. I cannot deal with this. But our setup is playing. Let's see what happens now. The problem is if a bid steps in a slow market, then we're just cucked. Later step. Why is everyone leaving when the setup actually starts to play? I don't understand. Like, this is literally what we were waiting for. I'm so confused. Okay, well, that's first target. Yeah, but it's potentially a full rotation, right? Because we held previous day POC to value and then made a lower high, which is exactly what we wanted. This is 30-second opening range high on ES at 164, which is why it's first target. We can see what it looks like on this as well, right? We have trapped liquidity above, we have sellers stepping in below, and now we have our play. Patience is paying. But like this again, like this is what you have to wait for like an actual setup. Is it has to trap, and then we have to see that lower high if we're gonna actually like do something. So playing off of that 70 with our stops at 72.50 or 73s, whatever you want to call it, right? And taking the 1-to-1 and then playing this down and then looking for a secondary leg, following our plan, right? Like wow, things can actually follow a plan, and you can be patient and wait. It's crazy. So is Zeno the only one that was listening? Everyone else was asleep? Alright, well. Let's see if there's another setup that comes, but As we push down into 160, 162, this is your secondary risk off. There's a buyer down here. We'll watch to see what happens. We push into our ORM on our 30-second opening range. That's our ORM and our ETH low here. We are halfway through our pathing, playing yesterday's range, right? Just our hold of our previous day POC to value high and rotating down. Again, this is secondary target here into our ORM to RL. This is what plan, and then the catalyst, and then the entry all showing and playing looks like, right? This is what we were waiting for. There it is. Remember, blue line is position, green line is stop, and then those are the targets below that we've now pushed into. This is POC of our current day, as well as our 30-second opening range low here on ES as we push into our like 159, 155 area. This is just where we're watching to see how price interacts now that we're pushing down into it. I'd expect a bit of a bid here, and then we'll look for a reoffer around here, just following our pathing. And then we'll tag into this previous day value low as well as current value low. But we'll see. Maybe we just go and sweep 55s now. I don't know, man. Great. And that's like, that's the move. Surely there it is. That's target. You can leave a runner to see if we can flip below previous day value and today's current value, with the offside liquidity above as our catalyst. Or you can just fully close now that we've done the full balance play. But regardless, that's the trade. So let's go through it again. What did I rant to you all about? You can't short if we're in trend. We wait for our setup, which is for us to come up to our resistance on the day. We wait for our shift of POC to trap liquidity. We look for the lower high. We look for that catalyst of our trapped liquidity. We play the lower high, and then we play our rotation down through our range, right? Every single aspect of that play played out once we had our variables met. We put on our risk into our 170. Our stop was our 72.50 or 73, whatever you wanted to put. And then we played it down through the entire range, right? That's a setup. It's not just shorting an arbitrary level. It's understanding how price will move once we do what we want, right? Once we actually see sellers initiate. We know what we're looking for. We get our lower high. We get that lower offer. We push back below previous day POC. Then we get the rotation. Then we trade into target. Right? We don't short when we're in this trend. We wait for the shift. We look for the trapped liquidity. This is why we have a checklist. Now we're finding a bid directly at target. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe we get the reoffer. I don't know. Let's watch our value edge here, Michael. So we push into our like 161, 165 area, but I don't know, man. It's so slow. Just watch to see as we push into this area what happens now that we've hit our target. Has to get below 58s here, or this is where the bid will find a higher low after our rejection of 160s, or where we expected the seller to be. We need to show interest below. We got our rejection, but we have to get below this, or we're going to find a bid and then step over, most likely, instead of reject and push lower. This is just our 30-second opening range, right? Our recovery of it. Range low, so we need to get below that after rejecting here. Or this liquidity is going to be trapped. Right. And then buyers will step up for the higher low. Well, you missed the only trade, bud. That's it for the rest of the year. GG's. It's truly unfortunate. You might get a reoffer here as we push up into POC from our hold of previous day value high on NQ. Maybe we get a lower high and then it'll flip like this or something. I don't know, man. The trade was on ES anyways, Rory, so you wouldn't have taken it. FOMC is always a good day to take off. Do I think? Of course, we'll get volatility. I mean, not only just in the afternoon, but brother, it's FOMC. It's always balanced and choppy pre-FOMC. Like, what do you mean? That's why I posted what I posted this morning. I'll be damned. Oh. So I said, like, I don't know how many trades I'm gonna be taking today. If a setup shows and it meets criteria, okay. But like, if not, I don't know, man. Offer holding on EOS as well as on NQ. Just watching to see if we put in a lower high here. Super slow. into POC of our previous 15 on NQ. This is EU close. A little volatility stepping back in.
EU used to raise funding target for EU bonds for January to June by 10 billion euros. So the EU raises January to June EU bonds funding target to 100 billion euros from 90 billion euros.
Price has to step below 158 for more. Got a good little rejection there into our 165, 161. But we need to see a lower offer here, ideally, on this retest. And then push below 158s if we're going to do anything of note. Got our lower offer, trying to push. See if we can get below this 58 or if this continues to hold. What a slow market. Again, need to get below 158 for more. If you're playing off of 161 to 165, this is a great first risk off. If we can sweep below 58, should be able to make a new low. Failure here is just going to result in bid stepping up and then retesting these levels with a potential push back over 165. RTY and is helping lead down, but we need to see a lower offer here as well, ideally into like 48s, and NQ holding our supply into our POC to value of our current range, right? This is POC, this is value high, but no pressure, right? Like no actual speed. We're just testing into this POC to value of this 15-minute candle. Sell side is definitely trying, but we're maintaining.
According to Israel's Channel 12 News, Trump speaking to them saying, I will not lift the naval blockade without a deal that includes a nuclear program.
Need speed or we'll stall out.
So they're citing Axios reporter Ravid. Scanner said Israel Channel 12 News on their X, just adding Ravid. Again, Trump turned 12 News, I will not lift the naval blockade without a deal that includes nuclear program. Again, just to correct that is an article from Ravid. This is N12 News citing an interview with them today that he intends to leave the naval blockade on Iran in place until the regime agrees to a deal that will address U.S. concerns about its nuclear program. We have put out that article on the feed for you to read through.
Holy slow. There it is.
Hexeth says Pentagon will form a command for drone warfare. Got to Axios. So reported by N12 News earlier, by the way, that Trump rejects Iran's offer, says blockade stay. So again, just as I said, we have the N12 News from the same reporter from Ravid, now just being put out by Axios. So it's the same story just coming out. But just as a fair warning, you did see a little bit of downside movement, very tiny, on the S&P 500. Again, very small. Same thing just coming through. And Axios just adding further detail that CENTCOM has prepared for short wave of strikes on Iran.
Pathing, fully playing. Patience pays. Take your first risk off if you're playing off of your 288 on NQ, or your 161 to 165.
So the only
on
new
this
bit
flip below
from
58s.
Axios,
targets. We should
from
be
the
able to
N12
take
News
out lows
report is
here.
that CENTCOM has prepared for short wave of strikes on Iran.
Listen, if you're
I'm
not,
seeing a tiny bit of movement towards the upside on the
this
Dixie.
is it, boys.
Very
Like,
small.
This is trading today.
A little bit of
so
further downside movement on the S&P 500. WTI seeing a little bit of further movement towards the upside.
There's
Again,
our average
quite
down,
small at the moment.
like
But
I
as
posted.
said, reported by N12 News earlier on, added part that CENTCOM has prepared
There it
shortwave
is.
strikes on Iran.
Lows taken. I've given insane trades today for the action, to be honest. So there it is.
And also from Axios that Trump would consider military action if Iran won't act.
And there's your NQ move in full. See if you get a secondary here. Am I staying for FOMC? No. I don't even want to be here right now. But I've now given 2 incredibly solid setups. You should be good before FOMC even happens. I don't. FOMC is. There's just no reason, man. There's just no reason.
So we have posted out the
see if we
article
get a
on feed for you
reoffer
to
here.
read through. Again, from
I'm
Axios,
sure.
adding detail from the N12 News article that Trump would consider military action if Iran does not act. And as I said, did see some downside movement on the S&P 500, a little bit more now. Did see a little bit of movement towards the upside, and WTI continued to rise here. Again, off the back of those, the Axios piece.
Let's watch our edge on retest here. See if we get any more.
Here's Treasury slide. 2 yields rising 7 basis points for the day to about 3.9%.
To pay some respect.
Emerging market FX index hits low
That's
for the day
funny.
on report that Trump rejects Iran's offer and would consider military action if Iran won't act.
Staying to pay some respect to J Powell. I love that. What color tie is he gonna wear, Czar? What are we thinking? For his last FOMC.
Oil prices extend gains. Brent crude prices rise now above $119 a barrel.
Hoping not purple again. Yeah. He does love that tie.
It's also keeping an eye on WI up around about 7.5% now.
My stop is now at 160 instead of 166 on this runner. Watching to see if our 58 edge can hold on retest our previous day value low. Get one last leg like this, maybe. Down into 134 here on a flip of this. We shall see. This is 20 seconds till new 15s. Good luck, man. I believe in you. Just don't tell them you'll be trading on your lunch break, you know?
So further from the article then from Axios, which is out on the feed for you to read through, CENTCOM has said already has prepared a plan for a short and powerful wave of strikes on Iran in hopes of breaking the negotiating deadlock, according to three sources with knowledge said. After the strikes, which will likely include infrastructure targets, the US would press the regime to come back to the negotiating table and show more flexibility. And Trump also told Axios that he saw the blockade as somewhat more effective than bombing. And the sources said he had yet to order any kinetic action as of Tuesday night. He did post an AI-generated meme of himself holding a gun, with a warning to Iran, and tagline, "No more Mr. Nice Guy."
Bro, we live in the worst timeline. The worst timeline. Holy shit. I hate everything. Oh my god. Get me out, man. Like, how can a headline like Trump would consider military action against Iran if Iran does not act? How does that move the market in its current state? Like, explain to me how we haven't priced that in yet. Like, just explain it to me. Like tell me in a rational world where the market reached all-time highs, how this news is not already baked in. Like, what? Why are we at all-time highs if this news isn't baked in? Like, no shit. Like, what are you even talking about? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's just pure garbage. It's all right. His buddies bought the dip again, and then they shorted, and it's just headline central, full on corruption. I mean, there's nothing to be confused about. It's a just corruption. That's what it is. It's only confusing if you can't admit that there's just a horrendous amount of corruption. Just no living government official should have currency. That should be a thing. It was a thing. God, can you imagine the uproar if Biden had tried to put his face on money? Holy. Oh my God, it would have been a beautiful. All right. I mean, it's 12, boys. It's only gonna get worse. We got two really solid trades. I think I might be done. I'm back. Well, Kiz, are you caught up on which
S&P
hat?
says that WTI and Brent crude oil price assumptions for 2022, for 2028
Sheesh.
and beyond are unchanged. In
Last
our view,
episode.
both prices will need to rise further or remain elevated for a prolonged period to curtail demand and improve market balances.
So good, so clean. Are you watching? Oh man. One second. My mic. All right, there we go. My speaker, headphone amp fell off. Are you watching Wistoria? It's pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. The drawing. I think there's just like there's only so much budget, you know, for how much action they're doing at the scale that they're doing it at. When it's like
S&P says
one
even if the
enemy.
Strait of Hormuz fully reopens, oil flows are likely to recover only gradually.
I think that it's there's really like 4 or 5 characters, probably a bit easier. But when you have to like work within like the city, it's probably pretty hard. It's my guess, but yeah, I can see what you're saying. Yeah. You think Workner survives? You think he's alive? Yeah, I don't know how. Bro had a donut hole in him. That's the bleach death. It's just like the hollow hole. True, 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 true. Okay, boys. So this is the test. We just rejected POC on the daily. We have to get below value low here if we're gonna do another leg. If we do, then we know where we're headed. If this continues to hold supportive, then there's nothing, because then this liquidity is trapped below. And then we look for price to try to get back up. So pretty big offer here to let us know which way we're going to go. We have this liquidity offsides above. We have trap traders above. We have liquidity below, right? So we're just keeping an eye on the rotation between these two participants. But again, like our sell is still the same. We just don't have a lot of desire. So we're now watching to see if that was enough of a trap above to do something with it, or if something is shifting in our trend. Right, but POCs are holding as resistance. We're just headed back down to this POC here. Into our pivot now. This is our value edge. NQ held our pivot, our 65s, just our previous range highs, right? Pretty classic upper distribution, bounce, retest, failure to get back in, rotation back down to our edge. What happens at our edge? Can we get back in? Can we flip our 30-second opening range? Does this bid? Is this liquidity trap below? I don't have the answer for you yet, but we're just doing our range rotation right now as we build this out. If we can sweep these lows, I'm going to be looking for a bounce at 190, and then we'll look for that offer to sit there and then step us down like so. So that's kind of like the ideal right now, is that we bounce our mid, and then we reject our highs and hold value as resistance, and then look below for continuation down. Surviving as a barbarian? No, I'm not. I haven't been reading Manual at all. I think I'm the only thing that I might be caught up on is that mercenary one. I think Starborn as well, because they went on break. I might be caught up. So Starborn and the mercenary guy. Oh yeah, internally regressed. Yeah. Everything else I paused. To let chapters build. You gave up on it? I can't stand the Chinese arcs of anything. I cannot stand like the culture, like that what's it called? That world. Yeah, dude, the Chinese arc is the worst. I can't. I just don't care. It's the same story every time. That's when I stopped on Omniscient as well. The Wushu or whatever it's called. Oh my god. Just get me out. Later, Ben. Just a little update. There's nothing really new here. We're just slowly building this out. Offer still at our 160, 166. No change there. Just slowly inching our way down. We're holding POC to value on our daily profile. We are testing into our value low now. We are trying to flip it, right? We are trying to get below previous day value low as well as our current value low on the day. On both NQ and ES. There's no real more downside movement until we can flip this, or this is just going to be the bottom of balance, right? Like we've done the full move. So we need to see these flip, and we need full market participation for these moves, or this is where our buyer will be found into these lows. I'm in one runner. That's it. And I'm fully planned, fully willing to get stopped out of this. I'm not trying to trade this slow market. We played this short here for our first leg down. We loaded again here. And now there's nothing really else to do. All right. That's all we got. We trapped that trader into those highs. Why is that doing that? Trapped into highs, offer step down, gave us our secondary rotation down. And then we chopped here into this tail, right? This became our risk. We tried to absorb into here, create that secondary. We added, got our bounce, and then got our secondary move down. Same thing as before. We're now just testing into this liquidity again. And we're seeing sell side trying to step this down once more. We'll see if they fail here or if we can continue to maintain this. Unsure.
Apple slated to announce the updates at WWDC event in June. Apple plans Siri camera mode and upgraded visual AI in iOS 27. Did see a little bit of movement towards the upside on Apple after the back of the headline.
But we got to get below this value edge for anything real. But as you can see, we're just rotating this node here with POC to value high being our resistance, right? This is our edge. And what we're trying to do is get below this and start to build in this tail that's here. So we need to see sell side get below and then offer this to the downside if we're going to do anything new, or we will continue to just maintain and then rotate this node into FOMC. It's the same thing for NQ, like we talked about. You can see it on the 5 minute, which is at our value low, holding POC to value high as resistance, right? POC here. This is our value high. We're at our value low now, as well as our 30-second opening range. We need to develop below and then get below this. Then we can start to rotate down into our reversion area. But until then, right, we're still holding our open. I don't know, nothing really crazy, just very clear balance between high and lows with potential to shift below for another leg if we can get below our 30-second opening range. And then we can start to look for a better trade. But just let your runner do its thing. Or do nothing. Started the Extra Academy Survival Guide. Extra Academy is okay. I read a decent amount of it and then I got bored. What's her name? Lucy? She's pretty OP. I think that's her name. I don't know, it's been so long since I read that. Are you watching Marriage Toxin? Yeah, it's an anime. I think it's worth trying the first episode. You might enjoy it. I'm watching Marriage Toxin, Witch Hat, Daemons of the Shadow Realm, and Wistoria. Those are my shows so far this season. Why does my sound keep going out? What just happened? Oh, there we go. Getting our next leg down. Let's see if we can get below previous day POC here on NQ. Incredibly important if we're going to go to target. Got to get below. This is our 30-second opening range low here on NQ and ES into our lows. These need to flip if we're going to do more, or we should expect a double bottom. It's great risk off if you're playing this. And then if we flip, then we get one more leg down for like another 50 points on NQ. If we can get below previous day POC. Right, because this is us trading previous day value high as resistance, and now if POC from previous day goes, then we can play this down to previous day value low after we get through this pivot here. So let's see what they do on this reoffer here. If we can get the look below, then we should be good. I don't know. Today is just a day of patience. Like nothing that we've talked about has been wrong. It just is taking forever. It is what it is. Structurally and execution wise, like everything's fine.
Channel 12 says that Netanyahu will speak with Trump by phone in the coming hour.
I got my first short. Good job. These are my positions right now, Rory. We'll see if we can hold this, but bro said Adolf. Here's our secondary leg potentially on NQ. Holy. Bro put LeBron James and Adolf Hitler in the same list. That's crazy. Curious George, I didn't even see that. I took off a little on NQ here. Leaving runners now. 10 contracts left for our full fill. See if we can get this hold below. No vending machine? I'm not caught up on vending machine. What's marriage toxin? It's about a assassin who uses poison, who has to find a wife because he's the last of his clan, or his sister who's will have to take the lead, so he's trying to prevent that, and that's basically it. So it's like this weird like slice of life meets action. It's like kind of I don't know. It's weird. I don't know, bro. The only thing you need to be watching is Witch Hat. You've got no excuse. Nah, just like not an eventually. Just like throw that on right now, boy. Shoot. I'm about to start putting clips in chat, Rory. because you don't know how bad I want to put that scene in with the clouds right now in chat. Like, surely that'll get him to watch it, right? If I post that. From last episode. All right. I think that's it for me. Actually, I think you watch your retest into this like 52 to 60 on NQ or on ES, and we watch to see if we trap as we push into this, and then we look for a offer and then a continuation down if it's going to happen. After we stalled out here, that kind of feels like the move. We're going to look for some absorption here into this value edge. And then I would expect another leg down. But, I mean, I've sat here long enough for me to just not care. I'll just let my runner run, call it a day. But I'd be expecting something like this. If we were going to do another leg, we look for some absorption into this. If not, then yeah, I don't really know. It's going to be another balance rotation into JPO. This is what this looks like on ES. Right, so it's just us coming up into this node again. We've got this big distribution here. And this is us coming into this edge. So we're looking to see if we absorb into this. And you can see that it'll be also something very similar with what we're looking for with deltas as we come up into this huge section here into our 55 to 160. We'll be watching for I don't know, a bounce and then some sort of absorption that happens into these highs, and then secondary sellers start to step in and rotate us down off of it after trapping into here. That'd be my guess if we were going to continue down. But we'll see. You just really want to be playing around this liquidity here. And then, like, if this fails, right, we'll look for a rotation back up to 170. That'd be my guess.
In oil minister being cited by Al Arabiya that there are no internal concerns about securing and distributing fuel.
So we just look to see if sell side sits into this, and we'll go from there. Our most bearish response would be this value at 52 holding off our reversion zone, right? This is target off of PVZ from our reversion zone bid, and then our rotation up into value. And then again, all you're doing is watching, does our value low to POC hold here from PVZ? And if it does, then we can look for downside, but we need to get below this. This will be key. What is this, like locked? What is this? So we just look for liquidity to get trapped up into here as we rotate, and then get below this POC here at our lows. Just following our daily profile as well, right? If we hold our value low edge, then why would we expect rotations back up? If we can trap here into these highs and then take out lows, then we should be able to head to 134, 136 area for our ADR. If this gets back into value, then you'll just play it as a profile instead, where you'll rotate up and play this back up to our value high. But you really want to see some sort of trap happen here if you want this next leg down, and then we'll go down like that. All right. Yeah, I'm out. You guys have a good rest of your day. Good luck. Remember, trade setups that make sense. Have a plan ready to go. We have an idea of what we want. We need to see the catalyst first. So you want to see the absorption first. You want to see the secondary. Then you can take entry. Just because we head into a zone does not mean it's a trade. Yes? We look for setups. We wait for the variables to check off the checklist. Then we initiate and execute. We do not speculate. All right. Peace. See you all tomorrow.